Hello and welcome to another gentle class. So, today we are going to be channeling our inner butterfly, for lack of better terms, and we are going to focus on transformation and growth throughout our practice. I want you to go ahead and find yourself on your mat. So, laying on back, nice and stretched out, taking the space upon your mat. The hands are alongside the body. The feet might flex and point. And I want you to go ahead and take a big body stretch. So allowing those fingers to reach up overhead and the toes to point. And with the next breath, allow the knees to come into the chest to give yourself a big hug. Finding a little bit of movement here, side to side, in this reclined pose. And then we'll let the arms fall out alongside the body. Let's keep them goalpost arms this time. Feel the shoulders upon the mat or the ground. The knees will fall to the right as the gaze falls to the left or stays up at center. That right hand might rest gently upon the tops of the legs if it feels okay. Nice big inhales and exhales. And then our next breath, we'll let the knees come back to center. The gaze comes back to center if it fell to the side. And then allow the knees to fall to the left as the gaze softly maybe falls to the right or stays at center. Keep easing those shoulders down. Breathing into any tight spaces you're holding on to. The next breath will bring the knees back to center. The gaze will come back to center. And then maybe you cross those ankles, start finding some movement along the spine, forward and back. We're making our way into a comfortable seated position. So just easy seated position, top of the mat. We'll allow one hand to come to the heart and one hand to come onto the belly. Really focusing in on that breath, on those inhales and those exhales. Allowing the breath to move in through the nose, on the throat, the chest, into the belly. And as it reverses from the belly, chest, throat, and out to the nose. Keeping this breath going the entire time. Knowing that you can always come back to this breath at any point in time, that it will lead and guide the way. The next breath will let the hands come to heart center, pushing the thumbs into the heart as we begin to think of our intention. Whether it's something specific or you're on this journey of transformation, just like this beautiful butterfly, holding it close to the heart. A lot of times, transformation is seen through a fearful lens. It's scary, it's unknown, a lot like the times we're in now. But just like the lotus flower or just like the butterfly, there are those moments of muck, those moments of unknown, those moments that aren't always comfortable. But after a while and over time, we transform into something beautiful, something better than before. Whether it's the lotus flower or the butterfly, know that both of these things are inside you, and Even if things might seem a little uncomfortable now or a lot an unknown, know that at the end of the day or at the end of this journey, this transformation period, you'll be stronger, beautiful, and so much better than you were before. Embracing that beauty, that power that this transformation brings, welcoming it in with an open heart. Allow the hands to fall down to the sides, releasing your intention, and the backs of the hands rest gently upon the floor of the mat, just connecting with the earth. If it feels better to let one hand come down and the other one stay up, please with the earth beneath you. Allowing yourself to become grounded, to feel steady through this transformation that might not be so steady always. We're going to let the hands weave in together, so interlacing the fingers. Now pushing those palms towards me. We'll take a nice big inhale, reach up overhead. And as we exhale, we fall on over to the right. Come back to center. Now we're going to fall to the left. Back to center. Exhale, let those hands come down. Inhale, push it back up. To the right. To center. To the left. To center. Reach up high. Exhaling on over those legs. Folding on over. You might find a bit of roundness in the back. Keeping those sit bones grounded down, connecting with that earth. The head becomes heavy, releasing that wrinkle behind the neck. Maybe you shake the head side to side. Good. Now we're coming back up. We're making our way into our tabletop. So those hands are coming right in front. Roll on over those knees as you come into your tabletop position. Those hands are underneath the shoulders. The knees are underneath the hips. That spine is nice and long. And breathe. Walk those hands a little bit more than a handprint forward. Now, if it feels better to just let the forearms come down and keep the hips high, I want you to stay there. Otherwise, I want you to let that heart guide its way down, forehead coming down onto the mat, or maybe a pillow or a block if you have one. Breathing into the shoulders. Easing in that breath. Remaining open of the heart as we exhale any fears. Let's gently lift ourselves up. Bring those hands back underneath the shoulders, back into that tabletop. Left hand stays grounded down. Right arm is reaching forward. Now we're shifting the weight into that right knee to extend that left leg back. Spinal balance here. It gets tricky. Maybe it gets a little wobbly, and that's okay. I want you to keep that belly engaged, pushing that left foot towards the back of the room. That right hand feels like somebody's shaking your hand forward. Nice and long with that spine. Push that ground away just a hair to keep that sway out of that back. Good. Our next breath, we bring that right hand back underneath the shoulder, the left knee back underneath the hip. Allow the hips to go on back, child's pose. If it feels better to find wider knees and let yourself relax on down, please do so. If your hips are kind of high, maybe you bring a pillow right underneath the bum to kind of let yourself find a little ease there. Knowing throughout the practice, our movements transform, they change. And as you might notice, by the end of practice, you feel a whole lot better. Mind, body, and breath. So you notice this beautiful transformation every time you come onto your mat. So I challenge you to possibly find the same transformation off your mat. Gently making our way up, back into that tabletop, finding the adjustments needed. That spine is nice and long again, grounding down with that earth. Left hand is reaching forward. Now shift that weight into that left knee as that right leg pushes on back. That spine is nice and long. Feel as you lengthen from those left fingers to the right toes. Nice big inhales and exhales here. We take a breath in and a breath out. Bring that left hand back underneath the shoulder. Right knee is coming back in. Allow the hips to go on back, child's pose once more. Now this time in child's pose, maybe you find a different variation. So allowing the hands to come together. You bend those elbows, thumbs going towards the nape of the neck. So if it feels better for the shoulders or if it's not too intense, you can shimmy the shoulders forward for a more intense stretch in the shoulders. I want you to stay breathing. Keep going with those inhales and those exhales. In and out through the nose. You took that bind with the hands, so those prayer hands, I want you to gently release them, let them float down, just like wings or feathers. We're rolling back up into our tabletop. Find those adjustments once more. We're going to tuck the toes under and lift those hips up high, downward facing dog. You might start to pedal at the feet, so bending one knee and then bending the other. You might really exaggerate it or bend both knees and straighten. Each day feels a little different, whether you're dropping the hips or not. Tuning into your body, to your breath, and seeing where you are on your journey. Two more breaths here. Reach those hips up high. Now take a big bend in the knees. Start walking those feet up towards the top of the mat. Take your time to get there. Folding on over those legs. Maybe again you shake the head yes, you shake it no. Let it be heavy. Releasing that tension behind the neck. Good. Let's inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, relax on over. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, reach up high. Exhale those hands down to heart center. Allow them to fall down alongside you as that heart is open. The feet are grounded down. The palms are open for receiving. Welcome in transformation. Exhaling out fear. Good. Our next inhale, we'll sweep those arms up just like wings. Exhale, hinging from those hips as we fall on over. Inhale, come up halfway. We plant the hands, allow that right foot to step on the back, low runner's lunge. There's a bend in that left knee. That right knee is dropping on down, untuck those toes. Now with that strength that it takes to transform, we let those arms reach up high. As we exhale, we let those hands come down, framing that left foot. The hips will go back as the left toes raise up high. Humble over that left leg. With confidence, we come back into that left foot. Tuck the back toes under, lift that back leg. Those arms are swooping up higher than the last time as we transform ourselves into this strong, powerful crescent warrior. We'll take an exhale and open up into our warrior two. So that right foot is sealing on down, keeping that bend in that left knee. A gentle gaze over those left fingers. Flip that left palm to the sky now. Exalting that warrior, right hand coming down, left arm reaching up high. Now, if it feels nice, that left arm is going to bend behind the head, behind the neck, almost giving like a little stretch or comfort, bit of ease behind the neck that can sometimes hold tension, reminding us to let go. Allowing space to be created in that left side body. Let's reach a little higher. Exhale, let that left arm come onto that left leg. That right arm is reaching up and over. Staying nice and light, just like a butterfly on that left leg. We'll exhale that right hand on down. Revolve the back toes so you're on that ball of that foot. Allow that right hand to completely plant down as that left arm reaches high. That belly's making its way towards the inner part of that left leg. Exhaling that left hand on down. Now walk those hands to the right. All toes are facing the long side of the mat. Forward fold. You might have a big bend in the knees. Maybe it's a wider stance. If you want to touch the ground, you can always have a block or a book or something with height underneath the hands if you'd like as well. The head becomes heavy. And the breath stays light. Welcoming in this beauty, this ease within this transformation. We take a breath in and a breath out. Walking those hands towards those right toes. I want you to bend that right knee as those left toes raise up high into our Skandasana. Gently with ease, we let that right knee come down. Untuck the toes. That foot's kind of coming around as we bring our bum down. Right foot is tucking inside of that left leg in our little seated tree. Left hand is coming onto that right knee as that right arm reaches behind you. Inhale that arm up. Exhale, tilt it over. Whether you touch the toes or not, it does not matter. I just want you to feel that twist on that right lower back. Nice big inhales and exhales here. Inhale, lift it back up. Now listen up. We're going to bring that right knee up. So we're now facing the front of the mat once more. Realigned. Right knee is up to the sky. Left leg is long. Now we plant the hands right alongside us so we can lift on up and bring our weight into that left foot. So I'm moving a little slowly and you might be too, so it's probably not going to look graceful. But we're bringing that weight into that left foot. That right knee is staying down. So again, we were transforming that shape. And just like life, for transformations, it isn't always pretty, it isn't always graceful, but we get there. Now, let's let those hands come forward. Those toes are still tucked under. I know they're feeling a bit tired. Bring that weight into that left foot. Maybe that heel lifts as you straighten up those legs all the way, pyramid. Very good. Now bring that weight back into that left foot. Right foot starts to lift. Step that right foot up to meet the left, folding out over those legs. Notice the difference between the legs, behind the legs, as maybe one is able to find a little bit more ease than the other. As one side might be able to soften a little more. Let's inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, melt on over. Inhale, rise up high. Exhale those hands down to heart center. Allow the hands to fall down alongside you. Maybe you wiggle out the legs a little bit. Before you settle in into your mountain pose once more, feeling as the toes, the feet become grounded, the crown of the head reaching up high, and the wings of the heart transforming. Our next breath, we take an inhale in, reach those arms up high. Exhale, gently hinging from those hips. Inhale, tenderly coming up. Exhale, plant the hands. Now that left foot is stepping on back. Low runner's lunge. Bringing that left knee down towards the mat, untuck those toes. Inhale those arms on up. Beautiful. Noticing the ease in the shoulders as the heart opens even more. We take a breath in and a breath out. Next breath, allowing those hands to come down alongside the feet or that right foot. The hips are going on back as those right toes reach up high. Softly humbling over that right leg for that stretch behind that leg. Try to keep that spine long. And know that the humbling might not be as low as you want today or right now, and that's okay. As we transform, things don't always go according to plan or look graceful or pretty. But it's how we feel at the end of the transformation, that peace, that beauty, that strength that matter the most. Take a breath in and a breath out. Bringing that weight back into that right foot. We're untucking the toes, lifting that back leg. Left hand stays planted down as that right arm reaches up high. Turning that belly towards the inside of that right leg. Exhaling that right hand on down. Keeping that strength now in that right leg. With courage, we lift up those arms. Crescent warrior. Breathe. Our next exhale, we patiently open up to our warrior two. So that left foot seals down. Maybe you adjust that right foot just a hair so you can find that right balance in the body and in the breath. Flipping that right palm to the sky, exalting that warrior, left hand coming down, right arm reaching high. Again, if it feels nice to bend that right arm behind you, tenderly holding on to the back of the neck, please do so. I want you to keep that bend in that right knee. Don't let it go. Gently releasing that bind if you took it. Right arm is coming onto that right leg. Left arm is gently coming up and over. Allowing that strength in the legs to stay within the body as you hold the balance within this pose. Good. Exhaling that left hand on down, back foot revolves. Bring that left knee on down, untuck those toes. Right arm is reaching up once more. Exhale that right hand down inside of that right foot. Tuck the back toes under, lift that back leg. We're walking those hands on over towards the left. All 10 toes are facing the long side of the mat. Now bring that weight on over towards that left foot. Bend that left knee as the right toes raise up high. See if you can find that lengthening of the spine. The hands can still stay down. They don't have to come up. And then with our next breath, we allow that knee to softly find its way down towards the mat or maybe off the mat here. Untuck those toes. That leg is kind of swinging around inside as we bring that bum down. Left foot is tucking inside of that right leg. Right hand will grab onto that left knee. As that left arm reaches behind, take an inhale in, and as you exhale, tilting on over towards those flexed right toes. Again, you don't have to touch the toes. I just want you to feel the lengthening in that left side body all the way down to maybe that low back. Good. Inhale, come on up. Now we're going to let that right foot come in to meet the left in our butterfly pose. We couldn't do this entire practice without a butterfly, so both of the feet are meeting. That spine is nice and long. Keep in mind, the further away the feet are, the less intense the pose. The closer the heels are towards the center of the body, the more intense. You can always bring pillows or blocks underneath the knees as well. Have a hold of the ankles. Keep that spine nice and long. Nice big inhales and exhales here. And if it feels nice, maybe you relax on over those legs, floating on down. Knowing sometimes that the fold isn't for you, and that's okay. Just want you to breathe in this butterfly pose. Seeing if you can release the tension in the tight spaces you might still be holding on to. Just like our transformation, sometimes we hold on to things that no longer serve us, or to this tension that is just holding on, that's gripping on. With the breath, we guide ourselves to let go of this tension, to let go of this extra effort that is no longer serving us. Excuse me. Just gently lift on up. Allow the hands to come underneath the knees. Gently bring those knees on up. The soles of the feet will plant as the hands come behind you. And we'll go ahead and find some windshield wipers going one way and then going the opposite way. Taking your time here, moving slowly and kindly as you welcome the movement side to side. Even yourself out, coming back to neutral. And we'll find an easy seated position once more. We're going to let that left hand come on up. Grab a hold of that right side of the head. Gently guide that left ear down. Not overdoing it, just very tenderly guiding it towards the ear. That right hand is going to stay out. Come up onto those fingertips. If it feels nice, maybe you lift that hand up from the ground. Breathe into that right neck. An option you can take as well is letting that arm kind of come forward and back, forward and back, and noticing what happens here. If you do it and it doesn't work for you, I want you to go ahead and either keep that arm lifted or let it stay down. Sometimes one position feels much nicer. We're able to really feel the stretch versus another. So taking your time to explore. Good. Now finding stillness, gently guide that head back up. Allow that left hand to come down. Bring that chin to the chest. Breathe. If it feels nice to kind of move the head side to side with this chin still down, welcome in those movements. If not, again, stay in that stillness. I want you to keep breathing no matter what variation you choose. Letting go of any tension and extra effort. Good. Come back to stillness. Lift that head back up. Now, with our right hand, we gently grab a hold of the left side of the head. Ease that head on down to the shoulder. And again, if it feels nice to let that hand come out to the side up on those fingertips, do so. If not, you might lift or find that little flossing action. Or try a little bit of everything. Staying connected with the breath, with the inhales and the exhales. Back into the stillness we go. Gently easing that head back to center. Both of the hands come down. Maybe they come behind you as you let that chin reach up towards the sky. Again, if it feels nice to find a little sway side to side, go ahead and do so. Keeping the head protected, we bring the shoulders a little closer towards the ears to help guide that head back to center. Release those shoulders away from the ears. And we're making our way down onto our back as we begin to welcome the end of our practice. So if you want to go ahead and inchworm your way down, you can. Otherwise, just gently make your way onto your back. Settling in as the arms fall alongside you, the feet towards the corners of the mat. Breathing into the heart space. Releasing any tension, any fears, any extra effort. We'll be here just for a little while, knowing that your Shavasana can always take a longer period of time or less, depending what you have time for. But allowing the body to release that tension. Welcoming in that transformation, that growth. Transformation is not a kind place. It's chaotic and a source of inner conflict because it is not a safe place. But it is a place of growth, a place of rebirth, where you can restart and realign with who you are. We can learn so much from the caterpillar that grows its butterfly wings in the ache and darkness of its own cocoon, and is reborn, beautiful and free, with wings to fly. This is the true meaning and profoundness of transformation. It is where the truest parts of you can emerge and your transition into the most intuitive and vibrant canvas of yourself. We take a breath in and a soft breath out. Beginning to bring awareness back into the fingers and the toes, allowing larger movements to enter the body as the breath becomes more aware. Allow yourself to lengthen long with the next breath, taking up that space on your mat. And as you exhale, allow the knees to come into the chest, giving yourself one last big hug. And kindly allowing yourself to fall to the right or the left side. Taking a few moments here to come back to that intention that you set in the beginning of class, or noticing that transformation that happened within. Embracing your beautiful wings. Gently coming up to a comfortable seated position, keeping the eyes closed or soft. Bringing the hands to heart center as we seal our practice with an ancient intention. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. Know peace, freedom, and walk through the world with ease. Namaste. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. I hope these almost 45 minutes are exactly what you need in order to get your day started or wind on down. As always, please feel free to leave any comments or feedback. If there's anything you want to see or I can do to help you, please let me know. Take care. Till next time.